Let's see this. Good evening, folks. Welcome. We are back with the lighter side. This is the first one since last year, I think, isn't it? Aye.
19 Oak Cake, I think it was.
19 Oak Cake. I remember that year well. Mr. Kipling, I remember him. God bless him. So we thought we come on tonight and do a wee lighter side. Obviously, our shows are going to be starting this week, but we have Mr. Murphy from UKGWP.
I put it on my name this time, so you won't get it wrong.
Because you keep changing it.
We changed it about 3 months after we set up the team, but we had not changed it since.
Sarah saying hi, welcome back. But it's any more than 4 letters and I'm buggered. And we have Charlie, for Charlie and Rocks. I still don't know how to do that. Charlie and Rocks Paranormal. But Andy keeps adding letters onto his type. I don't know. I think he maybe reckons that the more letters you've got, the more impressive you look.
Well, no, because Charlie and Rocks have got many more than mine. But if we're going on your sort of say-so, we should change that to Cox Paranormal.
Hey, Lord.
Oh, controversial.
It's after the
Paranormal, there you go. With an X, not with a CK.
It's after the 9 o'clock watershed, so we're fine.
Exactly.
But consider you your first red card.
Oh, that's only a yellow card, that.
Are you referring to our channel, Cox Paranormal?
No, Charlie and Rocks, COX, Cox Paranormal.
Oh, right. I've been off the camera too long.
I was thinking more along the lines of carp. Just add a little bit of a fishing rod on the end of it.
Yeah.
As you can see, folks, for those that haven't watched the lighter side before, we usually just say hello, then talk a load of crap. Basically, that's it. You know, we never have. I think we started off having topics, but I just get boring.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't know much about the topic to talk about for an hour. You know, basically. But the threes are good at talking crap. So that's how we decided we'll change the format. Because but there's too many shows out there, no disrespect to them, but you just want to go to your own funeral watching them. Because they come on, you know what I mean? And it's good evening. It's like the Reverend Jolly, mind Ricky Poole used to do the Reverend Jolly. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Tonight we're going to...
I don't think I'm that old.
Oh, come on.
I'm definitely not that old.
We're
on to age already, Scott.
Age is but a number.
Yeah.
Good evening, Charlie pal. Are one of your friends in, Charlie?
Evening. I don't know because the name's not there.
You finally found your one and only friend in life?
Yeah, mate, I only need one friend and I'm happy. You know what I mean? I don't need all these other people that just cause drama. One friend, mate, one true friend, and that's it.
Drama? What? There's never any drama.
Oh, no, definitely not. Not in the paranormal.
Not at all.
We should actually do, like I say, one night paradrama.
Yeah.
Paradrama.
So, I'm actually thinking at the moment of doing a show, a YouTube. Like I believe in the paranormal. Don't get me wrong, I do. I'm very skeptic, and over the last year or so, I've kind of really drawn back from the paranormal because I haven't witnessed a lot that I've seen previously, if you get what I mean. And more I do these different locations or some of the same locations, it's nothing's picking up. So I'm actually going to make a YouTube channel where I actually debunk and take the piss out of the paranormal.
Isn't that what we do in this show?
Yeah, but we're gonna get together on our little camp. I think. Do you know like where you see Gino De Campo and?
Well, we've spoke about this, haven't we? Let's not talk any more about that one. You know, there's snipers listening.
Oh, let him shoot.
There might be copycats. Look at some point. This gentleman is part of.
It's Liam from New Dawn. Hi, Liam, mate.
And Laura's your friend, and you've hurt her feelings, Charlotte. Seriously,
I'm sorry, Laura. We're all friends. You get what I'm saying.
You do not want to get on the wrong side of her, Laura.
I don't want to.
So anyway, Going on to the drama side of things, what do you guys think about this whole Nick Groff Destination Fear?
To be fair, if it was just one show, you could arguably say, all right, that wasn't going anywhere. It was losing the TV quality of what people views and stuff like that. But for two of these major shows to be dropped, coinciding with the same individual, if you like, then I think there's more questions to be asked there. Definitely, it's a bit of a resemblance. I think it happens over here in the UK, and it's definitely happening over there. And I think these days people in the paranormal get too worried about what everybody else is up to, and they're getting the best equipment, they're getting the best evidence. I tell you what, I've got the power. Let's shut them down. And it shouldn't be like that. Everybody's different. Like one of our friends who's got his own team, he sent me a picture the other day, and it was like a short 3-second clip. Explain it, and like straight away, he put it up, and he was like, "Look at this." And to be fair, it looks like a pretty good. I'm no expert in technology and knowing whether somebody's faked anything or anything like that. I'm not, but to me, it looked pretty genuine. And straight away, people like shutting him down. Bang, 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 shutting him down. And it was just like, no need for it. There's just no need. Do you know what I mean? But no, going back to the whole American drama at the moment, like, I believe there's something definitely in it for them two shows to be coinciding with each other. And it's, if it was just one, then fair enough. The show's probably not doing enough on the views. But, for two of them, and yeah, there's definitely something that's gone on there.
But there's a few of them come out, isn't it? Is it Amy Brunei? She's part of Kindred Spirits.
Yeah,
she's come out and said, "Well, look, we're not." So they were named in this whole thing, and she's come out and gone, "Well, we're not cancelled. We go through this every single year. We renew our contract every year. So to say that we're part of this and he's got us cancelled,
yeah." See, I haven't seen the whole one with Kindred Spirits. I've only seen the one with Destination Fear and obviously, what was it, Paranormal Lockdown.
Yeah,
they're the only ones that I've seen and never seen anything with Kindred Spirits.
But with that Project Fear now, aren't they? They're a YouTube channel, Project Fear. You've seen what they've done with the it's not a Just Giving, it's a Kickstarter campaign. Have you seen how much they've raised to keep that show going?
I said this to Roxanne the other day that was ridiculous. Because I seen a video that they had all their own equipment, so they didn't need to buy that. They had all cameras, everything. They didn't need to buy no equipment. You had locations already associated. It's just like us. If you're starting off, you ring up companies, you ring up places. Can I, how much is this blood, etc., etc. And they've just basically gone. Personally, I think, and used their fan base, and got money out of it when they didn't need to.
Well, they set the Kickstarter up with a target of 60,000. They got to that 60,000. They then put another post on and went, right, okay, help us get 3 overseas investigations and 4 local. For this, we need 150,000. They got to that 150,000. Then they put on, help us do 6 overseas and 10 local. And all of a sudden, they've collected nearly 500,000 now.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous.
I did see if you go on there, there's actual rewards they're doing. If people pay $500, they can be featured in one of their episodes, and I'm like, that's just horrendous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. What if 100, 200, 300 people put $500 each in? Are they going to have these 100, 200, 300 people on the show?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's my little input to the drama for this show.
It's just a begging bowl, really, isn't it?
Yeah. That's literally what it is. Look at teams that are not on television that need to work hard to get these locations, and then those couple of teams that are on the television can just put a post out, pull in their fan base, and keep it going. To keep themselves up there at the top. The likes of what's his name, Dakota Layden, won a competition to be on Ghost Adventures. He's not done what you've done, Charlie, you've done, Scott, and what we're going to be doing, and that's work at the grassroots and build our experience up. He won a competition, got on a show, and suddenly he's got his own TV show.
Yeah.
He's come in the back door or something. It's not like that. This is what annoys me about the paranormal. Everybody thinks that there must be something special, that they must, be out there, and everybody must notice them, and it's all bollocks. Basically, I mean, we're nothing big. We toddle along doing what we do, and running like 2.5, about 3 years this July, we've been going. And we're not interested in fame, and don't get me wrong, it's great if you get a wee capture and you get a few comments, great capture, blah blah blah, etc. It's good you get that and you give yourself a wee pat in the back, but then you move on. It's when you get these plonkers that are only interested in getting a TV show or whatever, and they bang on and on about how good they are, and we've got all this coming up and we're going to be seeing so and so. And so some of them you wait and you wait and you wait, and there's diddly. They don't do nothing. They're in their back garden shed with a magazine. You know what I'm saying? Know what I mean? Basically. And that's what annoys me. Don't come on and brag, we're going to be big TV stars. And paranormals know about TV. If you get a TV series, best of luck to you. If that's your thing, fire in. But that's not what the paranormal's about. The paranormal is basically about, just going out, investigating, trying to make contact with spirits, doing your lives and whatever other stuff. We've got a few projects coming up, but they're all related to our team and what have you. But they're nothing big and fancy. People just can't stick to the basics.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
Rant over. Get in there. It's the same as if you're talking tech and all the rest. I'm not a tech person because I'm a stickish. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the first one to put my horn up. I can work Charlie's REM pods and that's me done. But it's when you got these people and they say, we've spent X amount, on a camera or X amount or whatever it is, No, again, no disrespect to tech people there are people there that love other gadgets and stuff. Fair enough. But my way of thinking is a spirit doesn't give a whether you've got a £400 REM pod or a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
It does the same job. If that ping pong ball moves on command, then there's somebody there. Same as the REM pod. So it does it, and a ping pong ball's 30 pence or something. Yeah. No, I know I'm Scottish, and every pound's a prisoner.
It's like I said, though, there's three people in this chat at the moment. We could all use the same piece of equipment and it could work for one of us. But then is it down to that one person to tell everyone else never to use that piece of equipment because it didn't work for other people? No, it's not. It's, if it works for me, it might not work for you. And that could be down to, I might have just had the right energy for that spirit at that point, and you guys didn't.
Exactly.
You just don't. You don't know because nobody knows. There's no such thing, and I'll keep saying this to the day I die, there's no such thing as an expert in paranormal. There's just people who have investigated more.
Aye. It's like everything in life. You can have more experience at it. Same as you start a new job, you get a guy who's 20 years experience, you've got 1 day.
Yep.
It's the same as everything else. The more you go, the more you learn, the more you pick up your own wee bits and pieces, and it should be doing it. It should be another thing that I see a lot of is people trying to, copy what other. I seen them doing this experiment and that one and this one. Let's try it. And they go time and work. Just go and do your own thing.
Yeah.
Whatever your head's telling you. It might sound like a totally stupid idea, but at the end of the day, it might not be stupid to spirit. And if it works, fair enough. If it doesn't work, fine. You tried it, didn't work. Try something else.
Yeah. Anyway, Charlie, let's change this subject before Scott gets too het up. We can't have him falling over on us again.
You got to watch your heart, Scott.
That's it. No getting high and.
It's. I don't plan another wee return visit to the hospital. As good as nice as they were, I don't plan on having another return. I don't plan on getting 2 waxings in the same day. When I say that, folks, I'm not talking about what I'm talking about when they put all the pads on you.
Yeah.
And then they buggers stick. They do stick. And it's when they whip them off, they forget that, us guys have got hair in places. And Laura's saying, how can you have expertise in a field no one knows about? It's ever changing, spirits are ever changing and learning too. Correct. Anyway, sorry, Andy, for butting in. Carry on.
I hadn't butted in.
You said before I have another aneurysm. Jesus.
Yeah, I just tell you to calm down before you have another aneurysm,
It's annoying, but I think I've been off the camera too long. You just want to vent and stuff.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. It's like I put a post out the other day. Like, don't get me wrong, I like using certain gadgets and what have you, but I'm open to using different things. Like I put a post out saying, what do you guys want on an evening, on a public night? Some people like using dowsing rods. I'll go out and buy dowsing rods, mate. I'm not bothered. I bought a singing bowl. I've never used a singing bowl in my life, but even though it's supposed to be like relaxing for the yoga side of things and that, the people say when you use them, it tunes into the spirit world and, it helps you connect better to the energy that's in the house. I've gone and bought one. Different people want to do different things. I might not necessarily believe in it, but I'm not doing this. Like me and Roxanne said, we're not doing this for us. We're doing this to give it back to other people.
Yeah.
For the support that they've given us over the years, it's one of those that we want to do this now. It's as a hobby. It's a month-to-month basis. If it picks up, it picks up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're both working. This is something to do in our spare time, and to give back to people that have been with us over the years, for them to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? And meet up and have a laugh. Like last night we had nothing, but we had a fantastic laugh. It was great. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about, just bringing people together with the same interest.
So was last night your first public one, was it? Or were you on a public one?
No, it was just 4 of us. We just went to Rougham Aviation Museum, and it was just the 4 of us there. We just investigated the place ourselves. But our first public is on the 21st of April in Stanley Palace.
Good timing. Just tell everyone, it slides in perfectly there for a little 5-minute plug now. There you go. We've slid you straight in there.
Yeah.
There you go. On you go, plug away, Charlie.
Yeah, so we got our first public event happening 21st of April this month. We're almost sold out. I got 5 spaces left, which is great. To be fair, the amount of comments that we've had and people messaging has been amazing. The support's been there. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I've got another couple of places that I've had booking forms for. So the likes of Lancaster Castle, the likes of Woodchester Mansion, Mill Street Barracks, also Penellan Hall. So yeah, Bolling Hall as well. I've had back from them with prices and stuff like that. So that's something. In fact, I'm going to be ringing up a couple of places and try and get some deposits down and then start looking at booking other places that we can do. Like I said, it's just to give back to the public. It's going to be there. It's going to be their night. As much as people can say we're on an investigation with Charlie and Rox, it's not. We're just there to help. And the investigators for the night. So, and nothing more better than witnessing people that witness activity that you've witnessed before, and you see the smile on their face. You see that, you see like the buzz that they get, like, oh my God, it's happened for me. That for me is just spot on. That's what I love about it.
Definitely Mill Street Barracks is one of the places I want to go.
Yeah, you've got I've got so much faith for Charlie and Rock's been successful in the start of their journey. Can't wait for Stanley. I was going to say Stanley Place, Stanley Palace. No, that's the thing. The paranormal. We're all searching for the same thing. People need to remember that and not defame it. Exactly, my friend. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's what we keep saying, and I think we've said it on pretty much every show that we've done on this lighter side. It's not about one person becoming that famous Joe. Charlie, you could go to a location and you could capture something. Scott could go 2 weeks later. And if he didn't know about your capture, then he wouldn't be able to capture what he captured.
Oh,
and then
exactly.
likewise, if I didn't know what you both captured, if I went to the same location, I might not get what I captured.
Yeah.
Apparently that was Kirsty's comment. She just jumped in. So we need to share the information we get. It's not about grabbing all the information and keeping it to yourself and going, I'm going to change to say I'm the big woman because I don't want to offend anybody who thinks we're talking about them.
No, just be honest, mate. They think they're the big man.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from. I understand what you're trying to say.
At the end of the day, share some of that genuine captures that other people can build on. Allow people to take their own equipment into certain places.
Well, that's one thing that I've said as well that I put on the same post. I said if any guys that are attending tonight got their own equipment, no matter what it is, bring it. I'm happy enough to sit there and experiment. Everybody has different views, everybody has different things to use, and certain, like the first time I heard was when Scott said he used a compass. To be honest, I never even heard of anybody using a compass before. But then when you look at it, like the polarity side of things and stuff like that, it is a beneficial. It's drawn to energy, isn't it? So it's one of those things that would work. And to be honest, I've opened my eyes a lot more over the years now, and how other people perceive stuff and how other people use stuff, and that's why I'm open to anybody that comes. Or even if we're just out on friends, bring your own equipment and we'll go for it. Like, we'll do what we need to do to try and gain that evidence if we can. And it's going back again, like you just said, Andy. What I like is, because we have been so real with people and we haven't shut people down, we get messages of people from small teams saying, Charlie Rocks, what do you think of this capture? Is it anything? Is it this? Is it that? And I'll look at it, and I'll be truthful with them. Not then, I will say, it's not. But if not, I think it's a good capture. I'll say to them, "No, mate, I think you're onto something there." Do you know what I mean? Go back, keep trying to get that evidence again.
Yeah. But it's all about, for me, it's about being approachable as well. You guys, from the day we started this, we're approachable. You and Scott and all your teams. But there's some teams out there that are only about share around everyone else's groups and everyone else's work, but refuse to allow anybody else to, push themselves forward in their domain. And I'm not just talking about the big teams. There's one particular team I'm talking about at the moment. I'm not going to mention the name. Almost every day in our group, they're trying to share the group. When I try and share ours back to theirs, every day I get a comment of an admin saying, "We don't share groups." Well, if you don't share groups, don't try and put one in my freaking group.
It's just right. It's just
I'm not gonna buy it.
No.
That's my rant over for the day. We're only 42 followers away from 1,000. Get us those 42.
There was from 42 followers, UKGWP. If it is to change another letter, that is.
We might add USA on there. We might add UK on there.
No, don't bother. Just leave it as plain and simple as it is.
We've added a slogan. You've seen it on our. We've added the slogan.
Yeah.
It's paranormal the UK way.
Aye, right. I've seen that.
Yeah, see, there's a little slogan in there now. Go and get your merch. Links on our page.
I'll give you a follow now, Andy.
No idea who that is, but thank you very much. That's 41.
Laura says, "Fear's a passion, not fame." Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody says, "I carry a compass with us, but never think to use it." It's a simple idea, If somebody can, move a ping pong ball or something, and or knock a K2 meter over, which has happened to us, then they can move a compass needle. Don't get me wrong, it's frustrating sitting watching it, but we're still getting it to move, but we'll keep trying and trying.
Yeah.
So somebody's going to give you a follow.
But don't forget, most people who go out investigating now have a compass with them all the time, even if they don't realise it. Smartphones all have compasses on them. Being in the job I'm in, I've tested them out in the real world against other compasses. and they're just as good. They do exactly the same thing. So,
and they're no expensive. You know, this is what I was saying about the tech side and what have you. Paranormal, you get people just coming into the paranormal and they're watching all these ghost shows, and not having the ghost shows, but all right, some of them are a load of bollocks, you know, but other ones are all right, you know. Some of them I just watch. You know, you ever get the nights that you just want cheered up a bit, so you watch one of the other kind of ghost shows, the one that you know you're going to get a laugh, you know. And so you get somebody coming out of the paranormal and say, well, we watch such and such, and they've got this and that, and they're making a fucking list. Right, we need to spend £1,000 before we can go investigate. And you think, no, you don't. You spend a tenner. You know,
so speaking about TV shows, have you all seen that one that's come out recently? I think personally it's amazing, that 28 Days Haunted.
Yeah, I've watched that.
What do you think about that theorem and that? I love it.
It's a really good aspect behind it because, as we know, and you'll know as well, Scott, from personal, where you were going back to a location all the time, the more you go back, the more you seem to pick up on evidence. And I think staying there for the full 28 days, you actually get the full feeling of what is actually in a haunted location. You know, like we go to some nights and we'll go home and say, oh, nothing's happened. But not to say the next night when you're not there, something else could happen. So I think that whole logic of staying there, using different, just yourself being in there, even without equipment, it'll start to affect, you know, like you see, and I know more so you see it more in America, that when people are in places for more like 2, 3 days, 4 days, they tend to pick up on a lot more, and it seems like the spirit tends to draw to them a lot more, and it tends to like try and pick them up or try and, you know, get something from them, like an attention. And I think that's a good idea, and that's, I think, something that me and Roxanna spoke about, to be fair, of possibly trying to look for somewhere that we can do for a week stay and a proper full week, not say it's a week and it's only a couple of days.
Yeah.
Do a proper full
stay for a long period.
Yes. And try and do that. And that's something that we have talked about. It probably won't be yet. It'll probably be in a year or two's time. But that's definitely something that we want to do. And we could even do it together as a group if we get the time and put the time off work and what have you. You know, especially for people, I think it'd be interesting to do.
So I can't answer that question because obviously I'm in the USA, so I see things on much different channels to you guys in the UK.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. When it first came out, I saw clips of it, but then people were saying that's all that crap. So I've not watched it yet, but I might get a watch it. I don't know, is it Netflix it's on, or I don't know.
I think it might have been on Netflix. I don't know what. I can't remember what we watched.
It is still on Netflix.
Laura makes a good point about everybody's phone's got a voice recorder in, which is true.
Yeah.
And
no, that's right. 100%.
Some of the stuff that Laura's caught when we've been out is, you know, unbelievable, especially with Loudon, with the train, the talking stuff, you know, it came through clear as day on it. But I might get 28 days a wee watch. Some folk will get a right good sleep.
I think it's definitely worth it. I mean, we've reached out now and we've connected with a couple of the guys that are in there. You know, there's Sarah Lemos-Owen, who's one of the mediums that was in there. We've reached out to her. We've had a little conversation with her. But looking at the whole show, I mean, you can see how it affected them from start to finish.
Yeah.
You know, they all went in like really anticipating going in, especially the ones that were in the shop, which was obviously Sarah and I'm racking my brain for his name. You can see how that affected them. I mean, he was really affected. Yeah. He was really, really affected. You know.
Question for him. What's your thoughts on phone apps for getting evidence such as the necrophonic? Have you personally had captures on these?
So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna say yes, and not the necrophonic. So I have on my phone an app called Paratech. It's like a word generator. Now, if you go onto the internet and search for RAF Lehman and Ghosts of RAF Lehman, the only one that comes up is the Sergeant's Mess. what they don't realise is that there's another sort of tale of ghosts seen from a World War II plane that crashed at RAF Lehman. And the crew of that plane are often said to be seen coming away from the jet, laughing and joking. So one day I was sat outside the base waiting to pick someone up, and I put the Paratech on, and I just asked a couple of questions. And I got things like plane, friends, laughing, all these things coming through. And I was right next to that runway where these people were said to be seen. So, yeah, they say phone apps can use GPS location, etc. And, pull information from the internet. But I've searched the internet and cannot find information on this jet and on these people. So how would my phone, they could just be lucky guesses, but how would my phone pick up these things if there was nothing? Do you get me? I'm not saying they're all great. There's some of them, I'm not a fan of, is it Ghost Tube SLS?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that because I've tried it, I've pointed it towards a picture frame and it picks up an image of a person, and I pointed it towards my bed and it's picked up two people, things like that. So I'm not a fan of that, but there is some out there that I just can't discount because I've seen things on them. That's my opinion on it.
What about you, Charlie?
Hey, I'm a bit of a skeptic on this. I think the first time, Scott, you were there, we were at Ivy House. I'm not really a believer in apps, but we had the Necrophonic on, and we had I think it was a child's voice, wasn't it, Scott, that said play, and then all of a sudden a ball went off. So never we heard that child's voice, and that was interesting to me. That hang about. But then there is, like you said, there's some apps out there that you don't see a lot of work. There's one team that I watch that's in America. I watch them on YouTube. Twin Paranormal.
Yes.
And they use apps. I'm not sure if it's called Spirit Talker or something like that. But they get some really good evidence-wise in when they're asking certain questions, they get certain responses that correspond with the question that they've asked. And then to me, that's like, wow, that is thingy. So, I'm open-minded. It's one of those that I don't believe, but I'm one that will use one to see if it will get it. I'm not going to shut them down. And that's one thing I hate about when people say, I don't believe in apps. But yeah, they'll go out and use an Alice box, or they'll go and use something with a word generator on it, and it's all apps. You'll use stuff on your laptop. It's a program. It's an app. People all go, don't use apps. No, mate, you do use apps. We just don't know because people think that it's not an app, and it is. Everything is an app that you use on the software will be an app.
Yeah, an app is an app, whether you put it into a radio or something. There's one particular person I know that says they hate apps, etc. But when you go back and watch their programs, you can see evidence in them programs of an app in the device they're using.
Yeah.
And that's just blatant trying to pull the wool over your followers' eyes.
My thoughts on it, the Necrophonic, as I said before, I'm not a tech person, but we've used the Necrophonic since near enough day one. And you do get random words on it, but when you get a word or, you get a sentence as well, which we've had, or you get an accent on it. We've had a lot of Scottish accents come through in sort of local locations. But when you get a word, for instance, we done Loudon, we get the name Christina, which is an unusual name.
Yeah.
And it just so happened the burial plot we were standing at, we looked at the headstone and there was a Christina on the headstone. And it was a woman's voice that came through it. So we've had, and I know a lot of these apps are pre-programmed with words and what have you, but when you get an accent through it as well, that corresponds to, a question you've just asked or whatever, we've had it many a time with Necrophonic. The Spirit Talker, I will use that, but I'll tell you about that later on. Because I need to tell you after the show. But the Necrophonic, I would use that anywhere because we've had a lot of good results with it, and we can't explain a lot of the stuff that we've had.
Sorry, guys, I'm just looking for a phone charger.
Right. The idea behind the necrophonic, the one I think I've seen somebody do, which is like use it almost like a what's called the Estes method. Um,
Yeah.
And somebody else asked a question, and they're blindfolded and got the headphones in the necrophonic in the app in the phone, and then they don't know what you're asking, and if they come up with something then through that, then to me is more credible, because it's like, well, they don't know what you're asking, but they're getting a response to the exact question that you've asked, which I think is a good way of doing it as well.
Well, you see we've had that happen to us. We just use a whiteboard and somebody just draws something on it, and we'll just say, "Can you tell us what so and so's put on the board?" Basically, and also we don't know what we've done is we've asked people in chat. If we've done it as a live, we've asked people in chat, tell me what to put on this board, so people can't say, right, it was pre-arranged, and we've had some positive responses that we can't explain. We're not saying it's paranormal, but we just can't explain it. It's hard to debunk. If you, as you say, Charlie, if you get an answer and it's it matches up with whatever you've, asking or drawing, whatever it is, then that's hard to debunk. I'll catch up on some of these comments. Military houses that's getting a spine parrot because it's hard for teams to get on bases.
Yeah, that is true.
Leeming is a very old base. Apps are brilliant, especially when it collaborates with other evidence such as REM pods going off, what's coming through, this collaborating with where you are, which has happened to us. What do you think of ITC devices? Because it says it works on barometric and others, but I wonder if it was how it was developed. Do they use mediums to under low pressure equals this word, etc.?
So on that, on my laptop, as you know, Scott, I think you've seen me use it. It's a company on the internet that goes by Extreme Senses, and if you go on there, you've got a lot of different things you can buy, like Alice box type thing, word generators, stuff like that. And I downloaded one. I think it cost me about 18, 19 quid, something like that. And all it gives you is demon words and angel words. So it's a word generator, and you just switch it on. You can put on echo, reverb, stuff like that, and it'll just do it for you automatically. So what you can do behind that is take that off and just put white noise from YouTube, downloaded, whatever, just single white noise, and you can actually put that on a file, put that on that app, so it'll just play constant white noise, which is great. But then when you come to realize, you look at it and you do it, you think, hang about, this is very easy for people to manipulate, for people to actually fake. So I was sitting there one night and I said to Roxanne, watch this. And I said, I didn't realize. So what I did is I played it, and at the same time as I had it on a software that I was editing, I recorded myself, my voice talking normal, and I saved it. And then when I went back and listened to that, about 15 minutes into the white noise, you hear my voice then. So it's easily manipulated by people to go there and do stuff. And, people who specifically make these apps as well, if you're in close contact with somebody, can you make me this app? But I want it made this way. I want this, etc., etc. You can do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the Alice box. That's a word generator, and it's a diary, basically. It's just a dictionary full of words. You can add whatever words you want to into it. You know what I mean?
You sent me the link to that Alice DNA box, didn't you? That company that you... Yeah. So I put that on my laptop, and we used that a while back when we were in that Turk's Head in Ripon.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
That's what
I really do like it.
It's certain things that you can use good, but then there's like this, I won't use that app now. And actually, I am going to do a video on it, on how easy it is to fake it. Because I think people out there should know that not to believe in everything, because it is easily manipulated. And, people might look at me and go, well, you've just faked that. You must be faking. No, I'm putting it out there to show you how easy it is to manipulate equipment. Yeah. Every piece of equipment, tech-wise, whatever, it can be manipulated by the human touch. It can be manipulated by you. You go on about these static energy, negative and positive energies. you get some double-sided tape and you only have to walk past. It could be on your leg, and that'll detect it, and it'll be straight up. Oh, there's something following me. Do you get what I mean? So I think they're very, very open-minded, but very, very skeptical as well.
See, that's why there's one thing I have. See, we had before I run through the rest of the comments. There's something that I found really strange. Is we went to Dalquahar, and that place we took you and Rocks, Charlie, that when you were up. And we went one night. We went to Spig, and I went down in the basement myself, and the last everybody else was up the stairs. I was in the basement myself. I don't know, for about half an hour, whatever. And I came back up, and it was Laura and Lindsay, Rigga's partner. I'm sure it was Laura and Lindsay. Says that Laura will correct me if I'm wrong. That they could hear me answering their questions. The answers to their questions were coming through the app, but it was my voice.
Is anybody else having a problem with sound?
Say that again.
Is anyone having a problem with sound?
No, you sound a bit echoey now, though.
The phone's overheating, so I'm going to try and get onto the laptop.
All right, mate.
But it says the answers were coming back in my voice. Because they say, we could hear your voice. I said, well, I was doing the basement. I've been doing there for about half an hour myself. So, well, it was your voice that was coming through it. So I'm going to come
off for a second. I'm going to rejoin on the laptop, okay?
All right, mate.
I found that quite weird. We have to catch up on these comments. Absolutely don't require the internet. More to believe in. Hi, Nando, buddy.
Hi, pal.
Feedback. Really interesting to know your thoughts on this. Spirit Talker as well. That is a strange. I'll give you one instance. We done an investigation and we were talking about moving the cameras about. I think we had 2 or 3 cameras in this. You know, we had one particular camera overlooking something, and so we're going to move the cameras about. And it came through the Spirit Talker. Leave the camera there.
That's interesting.
And we just looked at it and thought, what the beat, you know? And it was right after it was like, we're going to leave the camera there. Now, how do you explain that one? I can't, explain that one. That was really, really strange. That's what my team do. Charlie and Essie's Necrophonic will do it. Jebra, mate. What's your views on teams claiming they have wanted items, claiming to have dark energies around it, but not knowledge to view the items and film it too? That's something I'm not seeing in the UK. Haunted items. Don't start me in haunted dogs.
So I got a good view on this one. I have, don't get me wrong, seen evidence behind haunted owl. Am I skeptical about it? Yes, very much so. And also going back to that question about demonologists viewing it, if that doll is genuinely haunted or item and has a really negative spirit attached to it, one, yes, let somebody else view it and let them give their opinion on it, especially if it's demonologists that have been in the field for 20, 30 years. They know what they're talking about, stuff like that. Then yeah, I would definitely say, well, if you've got nothing to hide, let somebody have that opinion on it. Different people's views, and that's what the paranormal is about, getting different people's views, different people's thoughts on things and stuff like that. So yeah, but personally, if you're not willing to let anybody else, they're not saying give that item to them, they're not saying thingy, but definitely let somebody else, have a look and see the view. Like, I'll give you an interesting one. I ordered an haunted doll as an experiment. I've had nothing from it. Now, somebody that I know who's got his own team, he ordered a doll from the same place, and his is really active. I haven't met this doll yet, so I can't say anything. But I'm very scared. Like, I've just required now a Ouija board. That was, somebody messaged me and said, would I like this Ouija board? It was required at a house with a house clearance, and it was severely affecting the couple that lived there. More so the male. He was having nosebleeds, weird stuff happening to him. Now that's an easy explanation. He could be having nosebleeds, high blood pressure, etc., etc. There could be other things behind it. But I was specifically told that if I used this board, that I would have to tell this person who I required the board off everybody's name that used it, and she would have to come and bind this spirit back to this board, because it's a very negative spirit. It's not from this world. It's not a human. Do I believe it? I'm a bit unthingy, but I have been told not to use it on my own. So it's very interesting. So whenever I got it, Roxanne took the planchette straight off me. She knows what I'm like. I have to see it to believe it. So it's one of those. So we're yet to use it. But for the sake of it, because of the information I've had, I've got the letter with everything that's happened with it, the history behind it. I will not physically use this with public. That's one thing I will not do. But I will, at one stage, take this somewhere away from my house, out in a forest somewhere, and I will use it, and I will see what happens.
And we'll never see you again.
Well, if that's the case, mate, that's the case, isn't it? But no, I will try it. Going back to it, and like Kirsty's put on there, it's about her. What about the Grace doll? I've seen some interesting stuff from the Grace doll over the years. I have, in terms of K2s, stuff like that. More so now, the demon side of things, I've always been told in the paranormal that demons will not give their name. Always. So on that factor, do I believe it? At the time, yes, probably, because I was seeing it. But the more and more I've seen people use the same equipment around that doll and not get nothing, and then certain individuals that use that same equipment get it. It could be that it's one of those that it only works for that person, possibly, but it is very questionable.
The whole, I mean, there's documented cases out there of haunted dolls, objects, etc. What grinds my gears is, I think it was last year, there was a sudden upsurge. Everybody was buying haunted dolls. I know one team in particular bought about 6. And these 6 wee dolls, they had spirits in them that had all drowned in a river. And they were all related, like brother, sister, cousins, whatever, And so, now this will sound totally stupid, right? Totally, but this is the way my mind started thinking. You get them in eBay, Amazon, anyway, So you imagine the Amazon warehouse, they'll get a pallet of these dolls, say 300 dolls on one pallet, all shrink wrapped up. Does that mean there's 200 or 300 spirits on that pallet?
It's one of those. Like, I'll be honest with you, when I was a part of that, I was dubious. And you'll probably get some people watching this, or they'll see this and think, "Oh, fucking hell, here we go." But no, I'll be honest with you, I was dubious to it. But the more now over the years, since all that's happened, I've started to not witness a lot of paranormal in the same places. Is that me? Possibly. Not saying anything there before anybody questions anything. But who knows? Do you know what I mean? But I definitely question it. Like, there's another one. I give you an example. There's another guy who's got a haunted doll. He's been on the TV with it. He's been etc. And to be fair, he's on our group page. I actually seen him in town the other day. I spoke to him. Had a good chat. And he offers people to go there and actually witness it for themselves. Mm-hmm. So he's providing a location where he keeps this, where people can go privately on their own and do an investigation there and do it themselves, so they get their own opinion.
Aye.
Which that I can validate for, which I think is good, because you are going to get some people that will go, well, no, it's not real. Well, come along, come and have a look for yourself. You know what I mean? You've got the place to yourself. Crack on, do what you want. which I think is a good idea, because then it gives other people that knowledge and or argue about, there's got to be something in it for him to let us do this.
That to me, that's the best way to do it. I was talking to her last night, and investigations and stuff like that. And I was saying, my opinion is, everybody should come along an investigation, and you might feel, hear, smell something, whatever, that personally yourself that you can't explain. You need to experience it. It's all right us standing there telling you, right, that's a spirit made that noise, or spirit will touch you, blah, blah, blah. But I think the individual needs to experience it for themselves and then make their own mind up. I mean, because I think everybody at some point in life has had something happen to them, or seen something, heard something that they just can't explain.
Yeah.
It could be the smallest thing, like your car keys were on the coffee table, but now they're in the kitchen. It could be something stupid. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And who's to say that's no paranormal? Somebody walks in the room and say, "Can you smell that?" No, I'm smelling lavender. Is that a spirit there that's wanting that person directly to smell something or whatever? So I think you really need to do.
Well, it's like last night we went to the Aviation Museum, and there's been comments saying that there's a lot of strong smell of perfume. Now, when we went in there, we noticed the glass had been cleaned, and the glass had been cleaned. The stuff actually smelt like a nice perfume. So it was like, well, are people actually smelling this smell? Not actually smelling perfume, but it's the smell of the cleaner that smells like a perfume. So it's different things like that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like I said, that the doll, the Grace doll, at the time was brilliant. People might say, "Oh, Charlie's just saying this now," but it's not. I do believe she has got an attachment, and I'll be out there. I'll say that I do believe she has an attachment. Do I believe it's to the extent? No.
No, but there is some.
If it's a bad attachment, as it's been sort of intimated, then get somebody from demonologist, someone in to actually have a look at it. Don't just keep saying it is.
Yeah. So we when we were at an old location, at an old doll, we had somebody come there that was like a medium, if you like, and she said it wasn't. We believed the stuff that was going on was in the house was from this item, and she was like, no, there's something else here which is actually from the land. So basically, like like warlocks, you heard them back in the old days. Like in Viking days when they had their old like witches and like warlords. Levi, sorry, I'm gone.
Yeah, there's another. If you close your eyes and use a dictionary, would and had somebody flick the pages and pointed, would it be as good as any ITC device or app to get a reaction? That's a good question. Possibly.
Who knows? Maybe not.
That's a really, really good theory, that.
All you can do is try, see what happens. I'll try to catch up on these comments. I had too many instances of specific voice and what's coming through that correlate with what we are doing, and that I cannot fault the necrophonic. I remember this night. It's about Dalca Harn with the voice. It was answering, Scott, was your voice, which we thought was really kind of, also I never heard it. It was Kirsty, by the way, that's your good lady, Andy. What about the Grace doll? You kind of
answer that Facebook user, most, not all.
That's your other half. Hey, Jacqueline doll. Will you get protection as a lot of bishops or against the boards for Charlie?
Not sure what that means.
Well, I get protection.
Oh, I think that's talking about spirit boards, isn't it? Ouija board.
Yeah, because I got that board downstairs. I'll be honest with you, no. I'm a bit of one for loving the darker side of stuff. I think that really intrigues me because we don't know a lot about it. We don't know a lot about the paranormal to start with. But we know we get the sense of spirits and, children's spirits and etc. The darker side, people presume stuff to be demons all the time, and it might not necessarily be a demon. It could just be an angry spirit that's had a really horrific tragedy in life or been a really nasty person in life, and on the other side has just decided to be an absolute and come back and haunt us and give us that kind of crap. But no, I've never been one to use protection. I know Roxanne has wanted me to use protection before, because I have had times where I have been affected. But no, I think I'm strong enough to stand my ground and, and try and push off whatever's there anyway. So I might be wrong one day, and as much as this sounds a bit thingy, hopefully so. Yeah, live and learn, don't you? You live and learn.
But I mean, the old demonic thing as well, everybody cries demon and that, but it could just be, again, we've all known somebody in life that's not been a people person. I've known a few grumpy sods in my time. And if you're grumpy here, you'll be grumpy in the other, when you pass over. But everybody seems, demon. But it's just somebody that's can't be annoyed with people. I just want left alone, go away. I'll kid on them a demon so that'll make them bugger off. And, it might sound basic and simple, but who's to say that it's not like that? I mean, my doll I sent to Charlie wasn't haunted either. It had a nice set of lashes, though.
Yeah, that's Liam. He bought a doll. We were both on Facebook at the time.
Darker side.
Say that again, Andy. Sorry.
I'm just saying with that, there's too many people in this field that shy away from the darker side of the paranormal. They think it's never, ever going to happen to them. You don't know what is going to be behind that door when you open it.
No. So that's why I'm very interested in it. I know there's somebody in Wrexham, a priest, father, if you like, who actually deals with that in Wrexham. He's by the Vatican himself, and he does so-called, as we say, exorcisms and blessings of houses and stuff like that. So, we have contact details. If anything was to ever happen like that, I know that I've got somebody there that I can go to, if you like. But no, I think in the aspect of everything, I'm a bit sensible. I wouldn't go too crazy where I know it would affect my life or affect the kids. But saying that, we don't know whether it's real or not, do we? Do you know what I mean? The paranormal's the paranormal. A lot of people claim demons and all this and all that, but is it actually demons? Is it just spirits? Is it energy? We don't know. I don't think we'll ever proper find out until we pass on.
I think you're always tempted to push it a wee bit. If you're at a location and you get something that's maybe negative, you're always going to have that temptation to dig a wee bit more, push it a wee bit more just to see if you can get a wee bit more. Is that the right or wrong thing to do? Who knows? I think it's human nature, curiosity. Here's a question for your community, Andy. How can you tell if it's a spirit or demon? You're breaking up quite a bit.
Yeah, as I explained before, mate, my laptop's on its last legs. It's an older operating system that's not updated anymore. So I've got my phone on charge. I'm trying to give my phone another 5 or 10% charge, and then I can jump back onto my phone.
That's fine. So you're just jumping about then, basically. That's a bit of a bad joke.
Trying to get the best signal I can. Right. Come to one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world.
I know, and your laptop's buggered. That says a lot, doesn't it? How can you tell if it's a spirit as they claim to be liars and master manipulators? That's a good question. See, we don't do the demonology side of it. We never have. It's just something that, But I always imagine, and I know you see it in films and documentaries, but if a demon kind of poses as a child sort of thing, will go for the kind of weakest or smallest, youngest person in the house, the most naive person. Is that right?
They tend to go for your biggest soft spot, So if you've got a soft spot for women, then they'll appear as a woman. If you've got a soft spot for, your granddad, they could appear as your granddad. You know what I mean? They've got the ability to pull you in by being what you love and what you're comfortable with.
But a packet of smoky bacon crisps, my soft spot.
Yeah. If it's your soft spot, for Sarah, maybe a can of Iron Brew.
They'd be bothered with me then, smoky bacon crisps or a packet of bacon. I'd like to see them imitate that.
I do believe that we manifest it ourselves. I do believe that's a lot of that in it. Like a lot of people that get down, a lot of depression. We all go through it, and we all are going through it. I don't think there's anybody out there that can say that they are perfectly 100% fine. And I think going through that, we manifest these things ourselves. And if we do tend to have a spirit or what have you in your house, it can feed off that energy. And that's, I think, what makes it worse. And I do really believe in that. We do that. We do manifest our own negative spirits.
I mean, everybody has off days.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I know
there's nothing wrong with people not wanting to get involved in the demonic side, for the simple reason that they have to be invited in, and if you don't go down that route and and you don't believe them, etc., you're never going to invite them in. You might do something wrong one day and invite one in, but then you'll know that you've done it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So,
we don't do the demonic side because we don't know enough about it, and we're not one of these groups or channels that will start talking about subjects we don't know anything about. Not that we're experts in everything we talk about. No, we're saying that, but that's how we've never been doing the demonic road because we don't know anything about it. Look at that quiz we done. I think it's Mr. Murphy's questions, mind? With the demonic, I think we got one right or something.
Yep.
Wiki tells about demons.
I think we were just lucky though when we sold this group.
You what?
We were just lucky that we made connections with in our journey. Can you hear me?
Aye.
Yeah, I'm just saying we were lucky that we made connection with Gavin so early in our journey, and we were able to learn so much from him. Obviously, he's a practicing demonologist out in Ireland, works for free, going off doing cases all over the UK, and then we managed to make Kirsty shouting in the background, telling me what to remember to say. And then we made connections with the likes of Keith Johnson, James Anito, and then we had a chat with that Bishop James Long. We were lucky that we were able to make connections with some of these names in the demonic field that we were able to learn so much at the start, and I think that's kind of helped us. So she's shouting at me again, and I've already said what she wants me to say.
No, if you can hook up with somebody who is in the field that you're in, that's 100%. That's a win-win situation. Yeah. It's great that can happen. Yeah. Believe it, 99 is not dealing
not a team of demonologists.
So, what do you think? 99% is fame hungry. I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Demons sell, don't they? If somebody says a demon, people's ears perk up, and look at all these clowns out there. I'll not say their name because they'll go in a huff if I do. They claim to have made contact with demons and all sorts of stuff. All sorts of huff stuff. And if you look at how many views this clown's getting, because people are going to want to watch it. And we don't want the guy going in a huff, do we? You know what I mean? But I fame. He's froze again.
Those people who are actually dealing with the demonic and are. Oh, am I back again?
Now you are, yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying is, if you look at those people that are actually active in the demonic world, in the demonology world, they don't come on YouTube, Facebook every day telling everybody about what has been going on.
No.
They keep it quiet. A lot of these cases are secret cases. So,
honestly, I would be brilliant at the demonic stuff.
no, she answered all your questions on the demonic stuff. She was the only one who answered them for you.
That's because we had her studying for about a week and a half. Get back in that room, you know. It's no lunchtime yet. Get back to studying. I'm only kidding. No, she did do well. You want to do a story in Demons? You fire in. Here's Laura's other half. Demons are great telly, which is why Ghost Adventures yourself I'd into who the ghosts are and their history. It was more interesting than anything evil. Quite right, which is exactly what we do. I mean, I know the guy you're talking about.
I'll just come back to that comment. I'll just come back to that comment about delving into ghosts and their history. A lot of the demons are actually there because of the ghosts and their history. So when you're delving into these, don't just discard them. Look at the possibility of why that demonic haunting was there. You know, you tend to find them quite a lot in things like old brothels and stuff like that, because of the negative energy that was around that place. So yeah, the ghosts and their history could have been the reason that evil spirit was there in the first place.
So before we go to the next call, what's your thoughts on the Cecil Hotel? You just saw the locations. There's a lot of negative energy, and obviously the Cecil had quite a wee bit in its day.
As he froze again.
Well, I can't tell. It's hard to tell because he doesn't move about that much anyway. You know, I think he has froze.
Yeah, he has.
He's really good at sitting still. You know what I mean? I know the guy. That gentleman in question. I've looked at some of his bits and pieces on YouTube and what have you, and he's just a clown, basically. I think he's back now.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is he back or is he not? Let's debate. Is he back or is he no back? What do you think? No, he's frozen.
No, he's frozen.
He's definitely froze. No. Somebody mentioned East Drive earlier on the week. We're doing East Drive later on this year with the Ghoul Gang. What's your thoughts on East Drive, Charlie?
To be fair, at first, I didn't believe. I thought it was a big hype. Definitely overdone. But then I went there. Oh, here he is. Twice. He's back twice.
I've just turned the laptop off, so it might take a second for that to drop out. Or just kick it out. So.
Yeah, so I was really surprised at 30 East Drive. I did think it was overhyped. I thought it was a massive money maker. I do believe it's a massive money maker. But we were upstairs in a bedroom calling out doing an EVP session, and we got a couple of K2 spikes, and we had an EVP, which sounds like to me it sounds like a woman either saying "come here" or "I'm here." I've still got that, and it was caught on 2 EVPs as well, and I think there's some other little bits that were caught there. So it was a bit of overall it was a pretty good night. I slept there. My son, actually, who's 17, was in the front room with us. Me and him slept in the front room, and I could hear footsteps in that room. I was sleeping on the sofa, and my son woke up and he said he saw a figure sitting in the chair just behind his head.
Mm-hmm.
Now the funny thing is, the person who lived there, the man, his glasses are left there. My son was looking at him and he put them down on the table. He went to sleep. He woke up and he put the dead man's glasses on without realizing, because he's practically blind without his glasses. So he picked up, instead of picking his glasses up, he picked up the owner of the house's glasses up and put them on. and he said he felt weird and freaky. But no, I do believe there is something there. I'm going back next January. I think there's more to be done in that house before I give a full proper opinion. But I do believe there is something there, whether it be residual or just something passing through, and it's more likely to be the grounds. Because I know in the area there was a battle that took place near that house. It was a gallows on the land. And there was a hospital nearby where all this battle took place and the deaths, and they were using houses near there. So, I don't necessarily believe it could be the house. I think it is more to do with the land that the house sits on. But yeah, definitely, I can't wait to go back there to thinking, because it definitely changed my mind on things. I was 100% like, no, it's not haunted. It's hyped. But I'll do it because it's one to do, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. I always see East Drive as, I call it the paranormal playground, paranormal fairground. It's become such an attraction that I don't know. I just, it's got a great history. I don't know whether the TV film has ruined it for me, but
yeah, like I said, I don't believe it's necessarily the house. I do believe it's more land.
Yeah,
that was there previously. I do believe that, and that's just you're getting a resemblance of it in the house.
Do you feel that a lot of these places that are hyped up, we get it up here, a lot of these places that are hyped up are less active than places nobody's ever been to?
I don't know. Obviously, a place nobody's ever been to can't be hyped up because nobody's ever been there. But
no, what I mean is, like I said, I'll give you for instance, Greyfriars. Obviously, investigations are banned doing Greyfriars, but before we found out about the ban, we did, I don't know, 4 or 5 investigations there, not many, and we never ever get anything, right? So Greyfriars, and we love Greyfriars. It's absolutely, I love the location. I've lost count of many times I've been there, but it's got the reputation of being the most haunted kirkyard in the world. So we were there, and over maybe 5 investigations, we got one wee bit of activity, if you can call it that. We sensed a male standing behind us, and it was like seconds. You know that feeling you just get. Sarah felt this heat coming from somewhere, and this was about 1 or 2 in the morning. But it was like seconds, and it was gone. So that's it. But then when we did, like say, Caldwell, a place that hadn't really been investigated, the amount of activity we got there was unbelievable. So that's what I mean. Do you think that a hyped up place would be more active than a lesser known place? That makes sense. Tell me it makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get what you're... Go on, sorry.
See, I've got a theory about it. Now, I could be totally wrong. That these places, like, again, Greyfriars, I'm not saying Greyfriars isn't active. There is spirits. You can sense the atmosphere as you walk in. You've been there, Charlie. I don't know if you've been there, Andy, or not.
I've been to Edinburgh, never been to the kirkyard.
When you walk in, it's a totally different atmosphere. But, there is, you get the feeling there is spirits there. But my way of thinking is it possible that these hyped up places that have been so investigated that spirits are just fed up?
Possible.
And you go to a place like you call where hardly anybody ever goes, and the spirits are sort of thinking, oh, wait a minute, there's people here. Let's go talk to them. Nobody ever comes to see us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm a full believer of that. There's a place, Pannyland Hall, intelligent spirit, Helena, and over the times we've investigated now, she's gone really quiet. It's like she won't give nothing to you no more. So I believe that it's like she's just got fed up of saying the same stuff over and over and over again. And then they just shut down, don't they? It's just like one of those, well, no, you're asking me the same questions. I'm not going to bother. Yeah. And then, as you say, when you go to a new location, it's a new thing. It's somebody's come here. It's new energy. Let's get the attention.
Mm-hmm. We done a location, and I'm not bragging or anything. We're not posting about it, sort of. But no other team had ever done this location. This was the first time. It was a private place. We went once, and our first investigation there, the activity we got was unbelievable. It was constant for about 2 hours or something. We had employed cat balls, K2, with the spirit talker on, and it was just like constant. And nobody had ever done that location before. So that's what made me, that kind of makes you think. Is it because people are just fed up with being asked, are you male? Are you female? Are you here? You just got to sit there, sod off. You're the fifth one today. I'm done. I'd much rather go to 30, not coloured by hundreds of other teams if they're wary of doing Grief Friars again. If they let teams, I don't know let teams back into Grief Friars again because of all the hassles that caused the ban in the first place. And then especially last year after that plaque get ripped off the wall and stolen. Mind that? The tourist, big stone plaque, they ripped off the wall and away with it. It's all a woman with an American accent. I must have will watch it tomorrow. Thanks, Rosie Doll. But that's my thinking that Spirits just get fed up. They get bored.
Yeah.
And
they're not performing seals, are they, at the end of the day?
No.
But and the other thing, a lot of people, I mean, we do all the time investigated night, as we all do. I think it's for atmosphere. Because we've done daytime investigations, same as yourself probably, and you get just as much activity in the afternoon that you do at night time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, Spirits don't do a back shift and an early shift, Like
no, if it's haunted, it's going to be haunted day or night, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's like you say, it's residual, and it's something that happened in a moment in time. They're not going to move that moment in time to 1:30 in the morning just because it's darker. It's going to happen at 10 o'clock in the morning, regardless. So we've been rather deep today, don't you think?
I know.
We've missed out the humour this week.
We do apologise, people, for being so solemn.
This is not the normal lighter side. We've not had a conversation like this for so long. So this is all the stuff that's been built up over a period of months, waiting to be talked about.
Should we just do another one tomorrow night? Then it'd be a lot more funnier.
I've been locked up for about 2 months. No, in prison, by the way. I mean, in prison. I've been not locked up, but restricted in my duties, shall we say. Hi, Jem Doc. Jem's from Hectic Paranormal. Rosie Card. She's from the Ghoul Gang.
We've got through this whole lighter side without showing Scott dancing in his green pants again.
Oh, I seen one the other day on TikTok, mate. And it was a spitting image of Scott, just some man in his boxer shorts sitting on a chair. I'll have to go back and find it, and I thought I should put that on our group chat. But I will. I'll go back and find it.
Yeah, you're going to have to grab that.
This is never going to go away, is it?
No. Not until we prove that was you.
It's not. Anybody watching, it is not. I don't have green underpants.
But
Actually, I don't anymore. I lost it. You got
rid of him, so we didn't think it was you.
I had a video of Andy dancing in a pair of Kirsty's leggings, grey leggings.
They were my pyjama bottoms.
They look like women's leggings. Anyway, but they were pulled right up. But I got an SD card for my phone because I was running out of space. And so I downloaded all my photographs and everything onto the SD card. And for some reason, the SD card wiped a whole lot.
Oh, what a shame.
No, to day one. So Kirsty can maybe send it to me again because I lost all my photographs. Edinburgh, Pendle, everywhere, gone. The whole
I've lost you dancing in your green pants now as well. I told you the other day, I had to wipe so much off my phone just to keep my phone working.
You to wipe your phone? What happened? It's
just an old phone. It needed to clear up space because I took that many photos being over there. I just had no space left. Kirsty's at the door. She's waiting to shout something.
I've still got it. Oh,
send it over because I lost everything's got back into yourself to decontamination. Decontamination ate it. What?
Decontaminate it.
He really does. I see him Neil every day. I don't have green underpants. I don't wear underpants. They're tighty whities.
I'd be worried how Laura knows you've got green underpants.
Well, so would I, actually. She's been in my knicker drawer.
Sarah, throw the green pants in from the side of the camera.
Yeah, I'm here all alone. I'm all
Dominatrix, that Laura.
no, because I saw the stuff you were putting in our chat the other day. I was just, it's no very often I'm stuck for words, but I just looked at it and thought, I can't even say it. I was just totally lost for words. But if you've got that video, Kirsty, it'd be much appreciated if you send it this way, because I've got diddly twit. You know, I need to start from scratch again with my phone.
She's saying she had to go to church and baptise her eyes after what she read in that chat.
I'm at yours more than my own house. It probably is, actually. I forgot. What's happened to Kirsty's drunk karaoke's?
Oh, I see. We don't do that anymore. We're grown-ups now.
I remember many a day I used to go on Facebook and Kirsty would be doing a drunk karaoke with a hairbrush or a pen or something, you know, hairdryer or whatever, and doing the...
She's retired.
But she would get dead emotional and put on the faces and
Yeah. She's TikTok famous now, so she's...
I'll need to look up a TikTok. No, we have been quite serious tonight. So the next one, to be funny, we'll just rip the out of everybody. What do you think?
Well, you, Scott, it's standard. It's me and Charlie rip the piss out of you. That's about it.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
I'm making a target of the operation. You know what I mean?
How's Ferrari doing anyway in the F1 this year?
Oh, knew that'd make him quiet.
I'll give you that.
That for you.
I'll give you that one this time, Mr. Murph. Let's just say I was up at 5:30 this morning, something like that, to watch the Grand Prix, and I lasted to about lap 40, and I just called it a day.
Honestly, though, I genuinely didn't know there was a Grand Prix today. I need to check the result of that one.
Do you?
I don't need to check it, do I?
No, you don't.
Was it a Red Bull 1-2 again?
Yeah, Team Red Bull. Team Red Bull.
She's
the fuck up. I don't swear that shit.
She said,
right. You need to get out of retirement for a grand finale. Where is she? She better hide.
Yeah.
Just remember, Kirsty, you need to return to the UK and we'll be here waiting.
We can't wait to get back to the UK so we can get that camper van and get on the road and get this program done.
That's all you talk about.
Is it? It's like you've got a spirit in the room with you. All you can hear is the voice.
I know.
She's massaging a new tattoo. She's proud of it.
You know what she's massaging.
She went and got a tattoo on her hand the other day.
Okay.
All right. What you and Kirsty do in private time is your business. Thank you very much.
I've got 9% phone battery. My phone keeps overheating and won't charge. So
right, we'll wind up. So what's coming up for you guys? Quickly, before Andy dies.
So yeah, for us, not a lot at the moment. Honestly, we are next month. We're going to Zach's museum. We're going to try and do the flashlight. Obviously, I can't share that because you're not allowed to take cameras in. We know your mum's here. You've just said it 3 times, babe. But apart from that, no, we're just getting back to the regular posting on the page, you know, and trying little things. You know, we did the little fire thing last night just for. I really wanted to try and, you know, prove some pareidolia, etc. And I think we did that. A couple of the photos came out. We had a phoenix in one of them. We had a little figure in the left. But when you actually look at it, it's just flame and it's just smoke. But you can pick a lot up. So we're just going to try a few little things like that. We're going to go and visit, I mentioned it to you before, the Western Museum in Lancaster, one of our local towns. We're going to go and try and have a little look at that. But apart from that, yeah, we're just trying to push, do a little bit more research. We're going to start switching our attention back to the UK now, because obviously we're getting towards the end. We've still got a year to go, but we're going to start looking to the UK a bit more now.
Good. It'll be good to have you back, Andy. No custody leaf out there with the Red Bull. You leave her out there. I'm sure you get big cans of Red Bull in America.
We've got one in the US. And...
Where were you, Mister? Where were you, Charlie?
We've got quite a few things coming up this year, actually, to be fair. We've just obviously started our own events, public events nights, which we're doing a month-to-month basis. We said if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We're not out thinking. We just thought it'd be something to give back to people that have followed us over the years, and so yeah, you can stay out there now, Kirsty. That's just taking the piss. Yeah,
see what I've got up with?
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Andy, mate. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, so we've got the public events coming up. We've got a good few investigations over the year. A couple with New Dawn Paranormal. A couple with Just Friends. We're doing Grizzly Old Hall in May. April 21st, we've got our first public event. So yeah, it's just working on it now and just trying to get it out there to get more people involved in the paranormal, because I do believe that there is some good things out there in the paranormal that people need to witness, and it's it's not all about this fame, hunger, BS, to be honest. But yeah, we're quite busy. It's going well. Working hard as always. But yeah, that's about it for us. So,
good stuff. Well, we have got, obviously we're just kind of starting back up again, so we're kind of get slowly into it. We're going to start back our shows this week. Hoping to get an investigation next weekend. We're starting our boat investigation, our water investigations the 29th of this month. We're out in the boat doing our first one, so we'll see how that goes. And then we're starting the Wallace Trail on the 7th of May. We start filming. Finally, get to start filming Forgotten Grave.
It's been a while since you announced that.
I know, it's just last year. It was it was the weather, and it was trying to get people for the Society of William Wallace, time wise and all the rest of it. And so we decided to wait till the weather was a bit better, and then I took my turn. So that kind of get in the way, So we're finally doing that. We've got a wee special thing coming up in May, which I'm not allowed to disclose yet, but all will be made.
Oh, you one of them as well?
No, it's the people that we're doing it for. I'll tell you when we come off.
Yeah, Billy Big Bollocks there.
And that's it. So we're just getting to get back to.
Were we just talking about fame that we shouldn't be in fucking hell, Scott?
I know. Oh, it's nothing to do with TV. Not to do that.
Right, guys, I'm really going to have to cut out. I'm down to 2%. My phone's about to shut off.
Right.
So
we'll wind up here, folks. The next month we'll be back with a lighter side. So thanks everybody for watching. And
guys.
Stay well. Cheers, Andy. Charlie.
Bye.
After we come off then. Talk to you soon, folks. Bye. Bye.